I'm back from throwing a baseball and strolling. When we were last here, if you remember, I had found a bad RAM chip. And maybe, I'll just push that back. I'm going to turn this back on. And we'll see. Oh yeah. So the screen has come up with many periods. But from what I remember before, if I tell, oh yeah, now it's got and sockets. And now it's back. L, O, A, D. Oh, dollar signs and then they go away. Dollar signs and then they go away. Alright, so definitely we have a bad RAM chip. This could, of course, make this machine fail. But, of course, we're still dealing with other matters, which I believe could also be bad. And I don't want to hurt a RAM chip. I do not. So, let us open these fine machines and from this location, this would have been the 8th chip that we tested. We have found a failure. Not surprising. Not at all. Oh yes. Let us get our spectacles and our light. Lighting is all important. By the way, let me just get this correctly situated and lined up and pushed in. By the way, if you are, of course, filming things, it is always best. Oh. Okay. I must rethink that. What did I do? Oh, what am I doing? Of course. Dum 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 dum. Alright, I was distracted. I was not, yes, distracted. Okay. I just swapped out a RAM chip and put the screen RAM chip in there. I'm of course testing the RAM in the screen RAM locations, not the RAM locations. This one, it's bad. I'm going to put it over here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where at this second. I have a bag. And in that bag are bad RAM chips. They would be fine for testing people on being able to figure out what's wrong with the machine. They would also be fine if someone just had a machine they wanted for display that never turned on. At least it would be populated. Alright, so we have checked 8 of the 16 RAM chips that are RAM. And we have found one failure. So we turn this on and we're fine. We are fine. We are fine. So, always we will put these with great care back where they came from. I am noticing that the sockets, what happened there? The sockets on this machine are different. They are. Not that that's good or bad, they're just different. But on each one, I can see the pins, except for that one. the one all around. All right. Let's see here. That feels like it's a little stiff, but it's in. So we continue to test RAM chips. And we're okay. I do worry about wearing out a socket from too much testing, chips going in, chips going out. I worry about it, but so far I've never had a problem. Alright, this one I sense there is slight bendage. So always best to deal immediately and gently. I have the pliers in my hand, but actually I'm using my fingernail just to get these back in alignment. Yeah, these actually quite a few of these are a little off. I will use the pliers to give a little tweak. Alright, as always we want to do no harm. Now, how do these look? They look good. So, 6 more RAM chips. Oh dear. I think as I was, ooh, that one is tough. I might have bent 3 of them ever so slightly. Anyway, we're getting there. We are getting there. Alright, another RAM chip into the memory socket, or the screen RAM socket. And we turn it on, and we see it's all good. It's all good. Alright. 5 more. It's funny, sometimes, you know, you just have to give these chips a little pry, but if you don't give them enough of a pry, they don't want to come out. You don't want to force things. Don't want to force things. What do we got there? I think I see a pin. It's funny, you know, you see them all lined up ever so perfectly. And one, that's why I think these sockets are a little more unforgiving. And you gotta be very exact. Not that that's bad. You just gotta be careful. Alright. More round chips. So I'm thinking, I am, that once I get these round chips tested, well, you know what I might do? Because of course, no, I can't, you know what, I don't trust putting this ROM chip back in. I really don't. I think somehow whatever is supposed to be inside the socket has gone squirrely, or it's been bent or twisted or something is terrible. So I was thinking I could just take out one RAM chip or 2 and put one in there and turn it on and give it a try. but I just don't think that is in the cards, because I don't trust that I can put that chip back in and not have it well, and not have it making a good connection, especially on that pin. Alright, 4 more. Gently, carefully, in we go. It would, you know, if only one of these is bad, that would not be bad. That would be quite good. So I'm thinking that my next thing, after checking the RAM chips, will be to, with great care and reverence, I think I'm going to upgrade this original PET to basic 2, or at least I will try. And I believe this is one of the things that goes against troubleshooting principles. I don't believe that I can do it all, or I can do it one at a time and have things function. I just don't think so. So I think what I have to do is take out all 7 ROM chips. That's good. Take out all 7 ROM chips. Set them in a very careful spot in the right order, and replace them with all 7 of the other ROM chips. Let's see what happens. I cannot imagine that it will do any harm. Okay, we're down to the last 2. Pins are looking good. Alright, turn on. What do I see? Oh, I see a whole mess. Now, wow. Well, that would certainly, in that position, that is a critical position. See, for a machine like this to work, it's got to have 4 RAM chips all to the right, and happy and working. And this is definitely not working. It's different. They're always different the way they fail. But fail, this one has. So the machine is kind of working. It just got horrible things on the screen. So, another bad RAM chip. I am, you know, I'm so tempted to try and put that ROM back in and see. But, you know, even when I took it out, the leg didn't look right. So that is a bad RAM chip. That can go over there. So, 2 bad RAM chips. And one of them in a very key and critical place in the memory. Because you gotta have 4. Then you could have a 1K PET. Well, I guess 2K, but 1K is used. Alright, last test. And that one looks okay. So, out of 18 RAM chips that are part of this machine, there are 2 that have failed. Only 2. Not bad. But But certainly the machine will not work. Well, with this ROM thing, it just won't. And I'm afraid if I keep trying to diddle around with this socket, that, you know what, I can see that I can't see it. So I can't imagine it's going to make good contact. Let me just try one more time. Yeah, that went well. To get overhead and look. And no, there's a socket problem. There is no point. There is no point. So, now that I have changed, not changed, but tested all around and found there to be two bad RAM chips. You know, the funny thing is, if I hadn't pulled that ROM out to test it, I would have known there was trouble, and I would have just turned this back on. And maybe, and even it wasn't really bent under, but in its funny position, maybe it was working. But I just don't trust that. So, we have this machine back together. We'll turn it back on, and hopefully we will see that it comes up just dandy, and as they say, tickety-boo. So, I'm going to close this up for a moment. I'm going to pop. I'm going to do the shift run stop. Press play on tape 1 and make sure that it still comes up. And while I'm doing that, yep, we have found Commodore, and we are loading. So I guess what I really need to do is plan my attack. Yay! Commodore Pet. Yay! Alright, it is working. It is happy. I'm going to take this out and turn it over. I did something which it takes a long time. But of course, to test the data set and everything else, this is like a 90-minute tape, which really don't use 90-minute tapes if you're going to use tapes. Just don't do it. What am I doing? I am rewinding because I put the longest version of the program to fill the memory on this tape at the far end so that I can load it and get it all happy, because I do like to just run that through. But I think what I'm going to do right now is I had water. Huh. That's strange. Oh, water. Okay, I think I will let this rewind, and it's got a ways to go. And I've got the two sockets empty here that I know had bad RAM chips in them. Still very tempting to try and put that ROM in and see if the machine will work. But I'm not going to. I think what I'm going to do is just make sure this is still perfect. The RAM fills up. It all works. It's all dandy. It's all glorious. And then there will be time to upgrade to Basic 2.0. Yes. That will be. So, we'll see what's what. It could be that this machine, besides suffering from the RAM failure and the socket failure, may be just fine. Or it may not be. We'll see. But that, as they say, is another story for another day. thanks so much for being here. It is much appreciated. If you have any questions or comments, especially if you've worked on these machines, you know that I'm about to do something foolish, or if you've seen something that I've done where you're like, oh, you gotta watch out for that, do drop me a line. Alright. Thanks again. Until we meet again. Bye for now.